Hello everyone, this is Shankar. Hope you are doing well. In this video, we will discuss about questions and answers. So, for beginner, right? So, beginner finally, questions and answers we will discuss in this video related to Apache Kafka. So, it is not a scratch video, it is the continuation video of Apache Kafka course. See, in YouTube courses are there. In that Apache Kafka course is there, right? In this continuation video. So every developer must know about these questions and answers. So these are the part of the Kafka ecosystem. So let's get started. First one, which component transfers data to consumers in Kafka? Tell me guys, which component transfers data to consumers in Kafka? So tell me guys, answer is the broker. Answer is the broker. So answer is the broker. So which component transfers data to consumer in Kafka? Answer is broker. Tell me guys, this question answer. When you start the Kafka server, how many brokers will be created? How many brokers will be created? How many brokers will be created? So one broker per server instance. Per server instance. That means here, that means each time you start, each time you start one Kafka, one Kafka broker process. It becomes one broker. It becomes one broker. See, one broker per service instance. Each time you start one Kafka broker process, it becomes one broker. So this is not needed. One broker per server instance. One broker per server instance, right? So if you start Kafka server, if you start the Kafka server, by default, one broker will be started, right? One broker will be started. So next question. How many brokers can Kafka have? Tell me guys, how many brokers can Kafka have? So tell me guys. So minimum one. Minimum one. No fixed maximum. No fixed maximum. Right? Minimum one. So minimum one. No fixed. No fixed maximum. Or you can also say like at least one. At least one. At max unlimited. At max unlimited. So how many brokers can Kafka have? At least one. At max unlimited. Next question. Collection of brokers is called. So tell me guys. Collection of brokers is called a Kafka cluster. It's called a Kafka cluster. So next question. What handles cluster? Tell me guys. What handles cluster? What handles the cluster? So there are two possibilities. Legacy, modern. Suppose legacy. Legacy means in zookeeper will be there, right? Apache zookeeper. So Apache zookeeper. So in modern. So now Craft controller, Craft controller, quorum, Craft controller, quorum. See what handles the cluster. So cluster cluster metadata taken care by cluster metadata taken care by in legacy approach of purchase okay for like 4.x before 4.x Kafka version. After Kafka version 4.x tear out controller column. It will maintain the cluster metadata or handle the cluster, right? So next one, seventh question. Producer sends data in which format? Producer sends data in which format? So tell me guys which format. So it will send serialized serialized format like byte data, byte serialized format, right? Next one, who converts bytes back to readable data, readable data. Producer is sending serial data, right? Who converts that back to readable data? Tell me guys. Consumer will convert. That conversion process is called deserialization, right? Who converts bytes back to readable data? Consumer, that is called deserialization, right? Next one. So tell me guys, producer data reaches brokers after which step? Producer data reaches brokers after which step? So tell me guys this answer. So see flow. Producer producer sends data, right? Which format? Serialized, serializer, serializer format. So it will goes to the partition storage, partitioner, partitioner, right? Partitioner, partitioner storage. Then it will goes to the broker, right? So what this answer is? So partitioner selects target partition. This is the answer. Partitioner selects target partition. So next question. What is bootstrap server? What is bootstrap server? Tell me guys. What is bootstrap server? So listen here. Bootstrap server for initial browse. See here. What is bootstrap server? Initial broker address. So bootstrap server contains the broker address for initial connection, right? So bootstrap server, right? Initial broker address, initial. So initial broker address forward used by producer slash consumer to connect to cluster. So for example, for local Kafka setup, localhost colon 9092. See, initial broker address used by producer or consumer to connect to cluster. So bootstrap server nothing but host colon port address will be there, right? So next, minimum recommended bootstrap servers in production. Tell me guys, it is very important. So minimum recommended bootstrap servers in production. So at least 2 to 3 brokers. Brokers. If you are while you are creating, suppose in AWS MS, if you are creating, there are two types. Serverless, provisioned. Provisioned means that is manually we need to select how many brokers we need. If you are selected serverless, this is automated. Automated brokers based on the load automatically multiple brokers will be added. Right? So Suppose we are doing manually. So if you are doing manually, provisional approach you are following at least two to three brokers for fault tolerance. That means here that means if one broker is down, so one action can continue. Then another broker will pick it up, right? If any issue occurs to the one broker, second broker will connect. So recommended at least two to three brokers in production, two or three brokers, right? So let's revision these. This video is nothing but Apache Kafka question and answers. Beginner questions mostly. These are the beginners for if anyone is learning Apache Kafka first time. Those are recommended to watch these questions and answers. So which component transfers data to consumer in Kafka? Answer is broker. When you start the Kafka server, how many brokers will be created? One broker per service instance. That means you are starting Kafka server. That means one broker will be created. This is the default setting. It is available in server.properties file. How many brokers can Kafka have? At least one, at max unlimited. Collection of brokers is called Kafka cluster. So cluster means so many are there. Like inside the cluster, care app mode also there, care app controller also there, topics will be there, partitions, everything will be there. Assume like a cluster is a big box. It contains multiple things. So one of that is broker. What handles the cluster? Cluster nothing but it contains the metadata information of the brokers. So it will be handled by the Apache 2K legacy systems, modern care app controller forum. So like cluster metadata nothing but broker information will be there. So later replica, some extra information also there. So next producer sends data in which format? Serialized bytes format. So who convert bytes back to readable data? It is the consumer that is called as deserialization. Producer data reaches brokers after which step? Here we need to understand flow. Producer sends serialized data. It will goes to partitioner. Broker. Broker will send data. See, producer data reaches broker after which step? So first producer inside the topic partitions will be there. Inside partitions record will be there. In record each record one message will be stored, right? One event will be stored. After that broker. Partitioner selects target partition. Next, what is boost up server? Boost up server is nothing but used for initial connection to the cluster. So cluster, right? After that, second time onwards, after that, producer will directly connect to the partitions. Partitions are there inside the topic, right? It contains the host of server contains the host on post. So each broker have a unique host on port. There are multiple cases are there. We will discuss later though. Next, minimum recommended boost up servers in production. At least two to three brokers for fault tolerance. If one broker is down, connection can continue. So in this video, we have successfully understand beginner related Apache Kafka interview questions and answers. So questions and answers, right? Thank you for watching. For more videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel.